What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Mag-Square Munitioner, their version of a Legend Scale Swindle. This was sent to me by Matt Partsformer, who sent along with their Mag-Square version of Brawl. So he's also going to be sending the Onslaught, so I can kind of take a look at them all together. That's when we'll take a look at the combined mode. So for now, we're just looking at the alt mode and the robot mode. It does come in robot mode, and this one is actually the D version, which is the painted. So you get the painted face. I know there were some people who were kind of upset because collectors who bought the first version got an unpainted face. This one's actually painted very nicely. Got the gray face with the purple eyes, translucent window for the Jeep, paint here for the headlights. This symbol was added by Matt. The rest is unpainted plastic, so you get the black, tan, purple, and a little bit of silver accents here and there. It's kind of funny, this figure has a lot of wheels on it, like fake wheels and real wheels. So the real wheels are back here. You got a wheel here, you got a wheel here, you got two wheels on the inside, you got a wheel on the arm, you got a wheel. So even if you don't count these, which are part of the transformation, that's already 6 wheels. Anyway, there's plenty of fake wheels for your pleasure. There is a spare tire here, which is removable as part of the transformation. But there you go for the overall look. As far as articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so it gets all the way up to there, just like the other one, down to there, side to side, and rotates all the way around. Arms are on a ball joint, rotate all the way around, out to there, but the peg itself can rotate, so the arm gets all the way up, all the way down to there, and then you can kind of lift it up to having that spot. A little bit of a butterfly joint due to that ball joint. You have a rotation at the bicep, single joint to elbow, but it gets you past 90 degrees. You have a rotation at the wrist, very tiny hands, but no articulation at the fingers. You have a rotation at the waist, ab crunch, gets you way down, basically 90 degree bend at the ab crunch. If you go too far, it'll start coming apart, but it does work very well. Legs will go up to there, the whole hip skirt moves with the leg, which I think is a good design. But then going outwards, this gets stuck. So you have to, again, it's just like the other one. It'll lift that out, and then you can get this out. Rotation at the thigh. Double jointed knee gets you the full bend there. Put that back down. You have ankle tilt all the way, both directions. Toe tilt up. And that's it for the articulation. All right, you also get a bunch of accessories here. So you get the smaller kind of missile looking gun, and that'll fit in his hand, and it's unpainted just like the other one. You also get the larger kind of cannon, again done in just black plastic. This one has a little tab right there, and that'll fit into either shoulder. There's a little slot on both shoulders to store this like that, so you get that classic look. And then this one, this is the adapter for vehicle mode. I don't think there's a space to store this. I didn't really find anywhere. So I think it's just these two guys. Now, sidebar here, my daughter, you know, I make a lot of sound effects at home, and I made a laser sound effect. And she was like, oh, you got to show people that. I was like, I don't think anyone's going to care. But anyway, there he is with his guns. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the New Age version of Optimus Prime, and then the Mag-Square version of Brawl, his Combaticon teammate. Looks good, scales nicely with other Legend Scale bots. Alright, now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. And I will have to admit up front, this is a relatively complex transformation. There's a lot of bits and pieces to move. So I'm going to try my best to show it on camera, but it is a really small figure too. So let's get started. Let's come to the back here. We'll pull this tire off. Just set that aside for now. And we'll take care of the arms first. We're going to rotate around at the bicep. We're going to open up the hand here, and we're going to fold the hand in. This is going to collapse down on this side, and this is going to go underneath there. All right, just fold that out to the side, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Now we'll open up this chest panel here, And flip this around and then slide that back down. And that's just going to sit there for now. Open up the head. I'm going to open up this entire chest area here. So open up these two panels. And you can open up this ab crunch piece and then pull this out on a slider and then pull this down. And all this will kind of pop out of place. We can take these panels here. They're going to flip outwards. Those wheels, and then we're going to flip out the grill. And we're going to take all of this, and we take these panels here, fold down the front of the hood, and we're going to fold it in on these. In order to do that, you just rotate the arms upwards, which moves that pin, and then you can fold these in. We'll take care of these arms. This is a tricky sequence, but you're going to rotate this in so that this panel sits straight out. You want that tab sitting straight outwards, because later, not straight outwards, straight backwards, aligned with this tab. So get that lined up properly. This is going to rotate inwards into here, and then you can use your thumb to kind of push this in and end up getting this aligned. So this is basically forward like that. All right, same on this one. Rotate this in. We're going to rotate that underneath and then push with your thumb so this ends up aligned, these two tabs. Then we're going to take all of this and rotate this to the front. This head is going to rotate back on the ball joint, and then this whole panel area is going to go into here, in between here. You can push that back down on the slider. This is going to come down and sit right in here. This panel is going to come up into here underneath this hood. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but you have to get this over the arms and under the hood. I don't like how it works, but I've messed with this a few times just to make sure, and that is how you transform it. So you want this under here, and it might help if you have a spudger to just hold this down and get this popped in there. Okay, now you can get that in. And you'll see those two tabs went through the hood. You can take these wheels, you can open up the wheel well. This is going to tab into the side and under here, like that. Same on this side. Get that tabbed in and then open up the wheel well. Alright, so that's the front of the Jeep pretty much done. Come to the bottom here and there's a little wheel, steering wheel. Fold that out. And then this whole piece is going to come up and sit like that. And now we're going to take care of these legs. They are kind of a nightmare, to be honest. So let's work on that. So first we got to open up the leg. Come to the back and... Actually, sorry. Come to the side here. You can see there's a little tab right there. So I'm going to take that off. And then here there's an over-under that's holding it together. So there's a side tab and a straight tab. And if you pull that out, you can lift this whole panel up and out. We can lift this panel, and that's going to rotate down. You have to open up this wheel first, and then you can rotate that down. That's going to end up sitting down here, but we're going to rotate the entire waist 180 degrees, and rotate the leg 180 degrees so that this open part comes to the outside. And so it should look like that now. All right, now I'll take care of this whole leg. We're going to rotate this to the front. Under here, if you just flip up this piece, there's a little seat underneath there. Come to the bottom here, you can rotate the foot down, rotate it around, and that's going to sit just like that and into there. Open this up, open that up. This is on a slider. It's going to be hard to show you, but this panel is on a slider. It's sliding out. And let's see, I did this wrong. We're going to have to put this back up. Rotate this to the outside. And then this panel right here is going to slide down and then tab in. It's plastic over plastic, but because of the nylon, it does actually move over there. All right, bring this back. bring out this very tiny panel in here, like that. And yeah, it does feel like a mess, but this is going to accordion down into here, and then this is going to accordion underneath and store right there. Right, so get all those panels down. We can rotate this back to the front with the seat up. This is going to come down and sit here. You can slide this back in. It's going to tab into the side of the rear bumper. And then this is going to tab in under here. There's a slot. Now they made 3 slots or 2 slots, which is kind of annoying because it's hard to tell which one, but you want to go into the bottom one here. All right, so that's one side done. It's a little frustrating, but that's how it should look. So I'll do this one off camera and be right back. All right, a couple of finishing touches here. We're going to take the 2 legs and tab them together. Before we do that, take this panel here. This is going to fit right in between here and sandwich in there. So now that we have that in there, you can squeeze the legs together. Just take a look on both sides, make sure nothing is colliding. And make sure these seats are up. I forgot one step here on these front wheels. So I'm going to rotate these down. There's a little peg on the bottom, and then I'll peg into right there on the side. So same thing on this one. Rotate this down and peg that in. Fold that winch down and then fold the bumper up. And that's your front wheel and bumper. We're going to come to the back here. We can take this wheel, and that's going to peg with the half circle on the top, like that. And last, we can take these 2 things, and this one is going to peg into this peg over here. And then the other one is going to peg into the other side. All right, and there's Munitioner in his vehicle mode, and looks really great. I love how this looks. They nail the cartoon look of Swindle. I like the painted headlights. I like the translucent windshield. Purple for the hood here. I guess some of that is paint. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. I don't know, hard to tell. You do have the steering wheel that will move up and down. Basically just leave it back like that. You can articulate these things. You can rotate, and they can rotate up and down as well. So you can kind of do whatever you want with that. You can remove the tire if you want. It does roll on these wheels. So there you go. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the New Age Optimus Prime trailer and roller. Fits in pretty well with others. Now it is a little bit bigger of a Jeep just because it has to end up becoming a limb for Bruticus, but there you go. And just to give you a sense of how it's going to look in the combined mode, here's the actual foot part that it comes with. I failed to show this in the previous review, but you get this ankle tilt here. You have toe tilt, gets you up to there, down to there. And that little peg there is going to peg in right here on the bottom of the Jeep between this 2 pieces here. And then this top part, we're going to open up this, and then that's where we're going to peg the combiner port. But that should give you a sense of the size of this combiner. So final recommendations on the Magic Square Munitioner. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. This is a pretty fun figure. It's got some really nice posability in robot mode. Also looks pretty good in robot mode. Even though it's not really painted, it's got a pretty well done sculpt and overall aesthetic and proportions. It does look like Swindle. Vehicle mode also looks really well done. Looks just like the Jeep that I expected it to. The weapons and accessories work in both modes. Where this one kind of gets me is the transformation. I don't think it's fun. There are some panels and flipping pieces that do feel like they're going to break, but because it's that nylon plastic, it has a little bit of give to it. So, you know, even then you are bending plastic past plastic, it does have a little give to it. And I guess that's kind of the point of why they use nylon. But me personally, it does have that little bit of a cheap feel. But other than that, I do think this is a pretty fun figure. So if you're looking for a Legend scale Swindle, this one is pretty darn good. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Matt Partsformer for sending this for a review, and we'll see you next time.